Hello everyone, this is just a quick update from yesterday. I changed some of the aquascaping. I took that old ugly rock I didn't like out, replaced it with one that's a little bit more similar. This is actually a rock that has fossils and trilobites, what I was trying to imitate with the wall. I'd like to find a big chunk of a rock like those greenside darters are sitting on, or something like this color, because that's a perfect match to that wall. And I'd like to find a bigger piece of that. And I found those at, I think it was either the Monocacy River or one of the other creeks feeding it. I don't remember. But that is a nice match to the back wall. So I tried to have those rocks, instead of, they were just stacked up like anyone would stack rocks in a tank, and I didn't like that. So I tried to make it look like those chunks were kind of sloughed off the wall and fell like that. At the same time, I still want to have some caves where these fish can go in and hide. You can see the darters really, they love going into the, hanging out in the current there. It's constantly washing food through there. And the fish like to hide in that cave that I made. I don't like that piece of slate, but you know what, it's really not that bad. If I can find a big piece that looks like that to do the same thing, it would look more match the wall, then I'll bring that home and replace it. Until then, it's got to do. The plants are doing okay. I'm trying to, I did it for the video, I moved the light back, but I want to keep the light in the back to keep the light focused on them during most of the hours of the day. When I come down to look for it, I pull the light forward, unless I'm feeding them. Another thing, I've got an update on my Oyster Reef aquarium, my 101-gallon build. Made a lot of progress in the last 2 weeks ago. My friend Steve came out and helped me finish the stand. It's not quite finished. I got to take the doors off and paint them. But my friend Bob built the frame and attached the plywood and gave me the doors, and we had this stand like 80% done. And then I brought it home, and my friend Steve helped me. He actually did it. I was more of the assistant. Built this face frame for the front of the stand. I think it looks really cool. He helped me lift the tank up there, which, you know, my wife or daughter would have had to help me. That saved their back, and probably mine as well. And then we glued the laminate on, and he trimmed it with his router. The only thing I have left to do is paint those doors. Instead of red, I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum American Accent Stone paint. It's got like a stone-like finish. I think it'll go nicely with, you know, as a nice contrast to the laminate. The next step I'm going to do next time I have time is hang my Radion lights from the ceiling. Here's my hanging kit. I've got some toggle bolts ready to go. I just need to get up there and drill into the ceiling. It's just kind of weird that I have this. That light's not going to be on all the time. Most of the time I turn these overhead lights off when I'm viewing the tanks. I have to hang the light and position it. My idea is to not just have it hanging flat over the tank. I want to, instead of centering it over the middle of the tank, I want to have it leaning forward a little bit, like right about here, and try to angle it in that direction. Because I've noticed that, like in this tank, I did the same thing. I put these felt pads under it. When I have the bar positioned, the light bar positioned in the front of the tank, it really shines the color of the fish, reflects the color of the fish a lot more. And I want the same thing to happen in this Oyster Reef tank. I want the fish to pop. And if positioning the light towards the front is doesn't quite cover the entire tank. I don't mind if the back of the tank is a little darker, because there's going to be a piece of equipment in there that I have a gyre wave maker that's going to go into the back of the tank. It'll hide behind the Oyster Reef. And I'm going to see if I can, when I install the overflow, also hide it so you can't see the overflow. It'll look like part of the aquascape. Then the overflow will drain, and I will cut holes in the wall with these little doors to run the pipes through to the other side of into my basement where my sump is, my RODI and everything like that. So I'll be able to do my water changes in the other room, and it won't affect this display tank. Under here, inside, right now you can't really see much. It's all dark. The back is open, and I want it that way so that if I want to install a large piece of equipment, I can do so from behind, or get to it and work on it. What I'd like to do is hang a shelf across the front, so that I can use it for storage also. I haven't quite worked all that out. My goal is to set the tank up first and then work on that later. And I'll paint the inside white so I can see also. I want to hide as much electronic equipment and things like that as I can to where you can't see it. That's the whole concept of this river tank. Is I don't like this Fluval canister filter outflow. I mean, it's putting a lot of outflow, and it doesn't take up a lot of room, but I want my spray bar to go across the top. And when I had built it, the one I built earlier, you couldn't see it, and it created a current across the whole top of the tank, which was really nice and strong. But you know, I just don't want any equipment visible. That was the whole idea of putting the power head behind the rock. When I had it up in that corner, it was sticking out like a sore thumb. You can still see the wire going up. Part of it fits behind the thing. I'm going to work on that to try to hide it a little more, but it's pretty much out of view. When you just sit down and watch the tank, you really don't notice the equipment that much. I also have an air stone in there behind the plants coming out. You can barely see the bubbles coming through. It generates some current back behind there as well. The fish are they think I'm going to feed them, so they're all hanging out in the center of the tank. Anyway, just another add-on update. I hope you like the tank. I hope you like my new stand. I can't wait for this Oyster Reef, this 101 gallon, to be built. It's my dream tank, basically. I've always wanted it, and it's going to have blennies and skillet fish, gobies, probably sticklebacks, maybe. I don't know. It depends what I catch. Definitely sheep's head minnows. You know, the feature fish are going to be the blennies, and ultimately, I'd like to catch some of the tropical strays that come into the Chesapeake Bay. Maybe a burrfish, or maybe a spot fin butterfly fish. They're add a really nice splash of color and yellow. Maybe more than one. It'd be nice to get 2 or 3 of them. That would be cool. They're commonly found down around Chesapeake, not Chesapeake Beach, but Virginia Beach, and up in probably all the way up to the mouth of the Rappahannock where it's saltier, and maybe even up to Point Lookout in some years. So I mean, catching them in the bay would be the ultimate goal, but I wouldn't mind driving up to New York and giving it a shot and catch them up around Long Island or the Delaware Bay. They catch them there. Wherever the Gulf Stream pushes some warm water close to shore in the summertime and the fall. And then if I don't have any luck doing that, maybe I'll just order one and buy one. We'll see. So, okay. I'll let you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, Goodbye from my fish room.